Hello, beautiful people of YouTube. How are you doing? Well, today's video is going to be kind of a short one. We had some snow earlier. We had about 3 inches, and it quickly melted, but it's still cold out, and I'm kind of staying inside. What I'm going to do today, we're going to talk about the P0420 code, that inefficiency, you know, the catalytic converter. You know what I'm talking about, the kiss of death to a lot of people's vehicles. We're going to make it a little bit easier for you today to figure out if it's a catalytic converter that's bad, that's causing that P0420, or maybe you have an oxygen sensor. Yesterday I did this on my Expedition. It has 4 catalytic converters and it has 4 oxygen sensors on that vehicle, and it's kind of complex. Now, I know a lot of you don't have big old trucks or so forth that you have to worry about. You have smaller vehicles like I have here today. This is a Dodge Neon. This has 111,000 miles, running pretty good. No check engine lights on, but I thought we'd go ahead today and look at the catalytic converter and see how it's doing. And I'm holding the camera in one hand and holding the tool in the other, and we're going to go ahead and pull up some data here, and I'm going to show you what to look for so you'll know if it's actually a catalytic converter that's bad, or you have an oxygen sensor maybe malfunctioning. But if you have a O2 sensor that's malfunctioning, you typically don't get a P0420. That'll be an entirely different code. So let's go ahead and pull up some of this data. Now, like I said, on my Neon here, I just have a straight exhaust with a sensor before and after the catalytic converter. Pretty simple system to set up and work on and to diagnose. So let's go ahead and pull up some data here. And right now it says I have no codes, which is great. So let's go in here and look at some data real quick. And we're going to pull up, let's see, some live data. We're going to see how my catalytic converter is doing. I need to back up one more. I went too far. I need to back up. There we go. Now we'll pull up some live data. And I know exactly what I'm looking for, so I'm going to go in here and just do a, let's see, custom list. I know exactly what I'm looking for. I'm just going to check them. We're going to pull up 2 waveforms and compare them. The first O2 sensor compared to the rear O2 sensor behind the catalytic converter. So let's go in here and go down to the O2 sensor bank 1, O2 sensor bank 1. Check that. And we'll go down to the next one, check that, O2 sensor number 2, and we'll view the data. And of course you can see the voltage there. We're getting voltage, which is great, but I always like to look at the waveform. You can tell so much more. And we're going to graph both of these. The top one is the first sensor before the cat, and the bottom one is the one at the rear of the cat. So what we're going to do is bring the RPM up a little bit, and what we want to see is the bottom. We want to see that eventually kind of go flat line. That'll tell us that the catalytic converter is cleaning up all the emissions that's going in. So you can see the first O2 sensor is working just like it should. It's bouncing back and forth, high, low voltage, going lean, rich, and you can see the one on the bottom is starting to flatline a little bit, which is great. It's what we want to see. Give it a second here. You got to get these sensors, the O2 sensors, pretty hot before they work, because they send voltage to the computer, so the computer knows how much fuel and air to control going into the engine. And there we go. It's starting to flatline a little bit there. That's what you want to see when you bring that RPM up. You want to see that voltage staying the same compared to the top. You don't want to see the back sensor looking like that. You want these looking entirely different. And you can see what's coming out of that O2 sensor, the rear of the catalytic converter. What that O2 sensor is sensing is it's getting cleaned up. It's cleaning up the gases, doing its job. So we have a good working catalytic converter here. That's what you want to look for. So if you have a P0420 and you don't see this, then more than likely you have a bad catalytic converter. So there you go. You can see it's staying pretty flat line there. It's not doing too bad. Doing a pretty good job of cleaning up the emissions. So there you go. So like I said, I thought I'd just do a quick video today. If you have a P0420, don't freak out too much. Do a little research, and you'd be surprised how sometimes you can fix these things. And also, I ordered a catalytic converter online for my Expedition for $78. If you have a welder, and if you're a do-it-yourselfer, sometimes you can just change your own catalytic converter. But that's a whole different other video and topic for later. So you can see I let up on the fuel and it's idling. And look at that, nice flat line there. That's what you want to see. So that catalytic converter on my Dodge Neon is working perfectly. So good deal. All right, so that's it, guys. Thanks for watching. Guess I'll go home and stay inside and eat until it warms up, probably around July. Don't you just love living in the Northeast? Spring takes forever to get here sometimes. All right, until my next video, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you then. Have a good one. Thanks for subscribing also.